Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna move this where I can see it better. Here we go. So I'm going to be setting up some search parameters on in Google, some search filters, so that Google is constantly scanning for certain keywords for me. That whenever they come up in search, Google will automatically alert me, and then I can, um, use those. So. All right. Hey, thanks for stopping by. How you doing today?
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. What do you guys think for stepping by?
Spiceman. Cool name. I actually have my own line of spices. Kick and Spice. What are you up to today? Working on a website.
Hey guys, just working on our website. Thanks for stopping by. Hey guys, working on our website. Appreciate you stopping by to hang out. You got any questions or comments? Let me know. We got a podcast coming up here in a little over an hour. No, the webinar starts at 2 o'clock. So you're early. Um, I'm just hanging out, working on a website. So because the longer I'm on, the more YouTube and TikTok, tends to push my stuff. So haven't even started yet. So you're good. Just build a website. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Excuse me. Sorry about that, man.
Mr. Meow. Well, how about that? You're kitty kitty. Oh, hey. Thanks for the art. We'll be starting the podcast here shortly. I'm just putting my notes together for it. Well, as you can see, I'm already live, ready for the webinar or podcast that starts at 2 o'clock today. So whether you come through the Eventbrite, TikTok Live, YouTube Live, we're ready to talk about how to spot a scam. So hop on in. I'm ready for you. I'm already live, ready for the podcast that starts at as you can see, I'm already live. Ready for the webinar or podcast that starts at so whether you come through the Eventbrite, TikTok Live, YouTube Live, we're ready to talk about how to spot a scam. So hop on in. I'm ready for you. As you can see, I'm already live, ready for the webinar or podcast that starts at 2 o'clock today. So whether you come through Eventbrite, TikTok Live, YouTube Live, we're ready to talk about how to spot a scam. Well, as you can see, I'm already live.
It is too close to Christmas to be dealing with window shoppers and flakers. Y'all got a lady just hit me up, man. She wants this gray section right here.
As you can see, I'm already live, ready for the webinar or podcast that starts at 2 o'clock today. So whether you come through the Eventbrite, TikTok Live, YouTube Live, we're ready to talk about how to spot a scam. So hop on in.
Kai, are you deaf? Because that's loud out here.
you know. Well,
Hey, how we doing? Tip to Sal.
He said, "Wasn't your hair different yesterday?" Baby, I'm a black woman. My hair was different 5 minutes ago. What's with your Are you currently renting thyroid cancer?
whatever hides this, I'm good with. Bradley asks, well, I'm gonna lock it in, guys. Black.
Oh, good afternoon. How we doing?
I didn't see a sneak in there. So did you happen to browse across the channel, or are you here for the webinar podcast? Oh, okay. Cool. Well, we're just now starting to get a couple people popping in, so we'll see how many people show up. I've been on for a while because I was just working on some websites and stuff, and I know it helps the algorithms when I spend more time on live, so I just left it on live while I was working. And I'm going to start doing the podcast every Tuesday and Thursday at 2:00 on TikTok and YouTube, and do Tuesdays on how to make money and Thursdays on the issues that come up with making money. Obviously, scams that come up is an issue with making money. So it fits perfect. Um, so yeah, I'm actually live on 3 things right now. I'm live on Eventbrite, through Google Meet, live on TikTok, and live on YouTube. So we'll see how many people show up. There was like 8 people that signed up from the group through Eventbrite, but yeah, I don't know. Not too many people tend to show up from the group. I don't know why. And Matt's back. So Matt, are you from the group, or you just TikTok? We got one more person. Oh, in and out. Oh, no, I guess they're still here. TikTok. Can everybody hear me okay? I just put a headset on if you guys need to hear me a little better. Or to turn the music off. Sure can, okay. Music's a bit too loud. Okay. How's that? That a little better? I like my music. Okay. Should have heard it earlier. I had some music cranking. Actually, yesterday I had an old, well, not old, but older Christian rock, kind of a metal rock band on, and had a few people on when I was on live and asked, challenged if anybody could recognize them. They were popular like in the, it was Pillar. They were popular like in the 90s. And somebody actually recognized them. They were like within a year of my age. Couldn't believe it. What are the odds? But from Wisconsin. So you never know who's tuning in. Well, we'll wait a couple more minutes. We've only got a few people in here, but wait a couple minutes before we get started. Where's everybody from today? Obviously, I'm from Florida. Where's everybody else from? Canada. Eesh, burr, cold. Okay, I'm gonna have to share this with you guys. This absolutely fits. You have snow? Imagine that. Yeah. My uncle's in Illinois, and he on Thanksgiving he was sending me pics. They had 5 to 7 inches of snow around Thanksgiving. So I'll share this as we get a little further, and I'm going to go ahead and start. We got a handful of people here, so today's about how to spot a scam, and it when you get scammed, it sucks, it hurts. And here's the thing: scammers don't start with money; they start with psychology. They target people who are needy, rushed, and looking for something easy. Okay. It's they don't go after people like Elon Musk. Elon's not looking for fast money. Every scammer in the world looks for people who want something right now. If you're searching for easy money, you're the scammer's target. Period. When you come on my lives, especially on TikTok, right? You've got my little bio there that talks about how to make money and everything, because my passion is about creating wealth. I've helped so many people make money through either starting businesses, solving problems in their business. I've made millionaires. Well, not made millions. I've helped people become millionaires, and so many times people have come on my lives. I've written books about how to make money and everything, how to build businesses, and it'll come on. I'll be talking about who knows what else. And I thought this was about making money. Like, oh yeah, sure, we can talk about making money. And as soon as we start talking about, if you're going to make money, inevitably at some point, you have to do some work. You're going to take an idea and you're going to go sell that idea. You have to do something, right? And as soon as we get to that point in the conversation, poof, they're gone. Because people want easy money. That's what they're after. And that's what scammers look for. They look for people that want something easy. That's what they prey on. They want that quick turn, okay? And that's, don't feel bad that that if you've fallen victim to that, because we all come to a point in our lives where we just need a couple extra bucks. We're just trying to fill that void or whatever. And, I mean, I've been there, where I'm trying to, make a couple extra bucks, whatever. And, gosh, it looks so good. It looks so real because they're playing on psychology. Okay. But here's the thing. Neediness makes you blind. Hope makes you reckless. And that is why they pick you. Okay. Because they prey on that. It's that emotional blueprint. So there's three things: hope before logic. You want it to be real, so you stop asking questions. And there's small test payments. You think, 50 or $100 isn't a big deal. Scammers call this bait money. Okay. It's part of the funnel. There's a confirmation bias. Fake screenshots line up to what you want to believe. Okay. Scammers, they don't trick your brain, they trick your emotions. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. They're trying to bypass your logic with your emotions. And that is how they get you to fall in. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Is they're getting you there to little by little, these little things, one little thing at a time that, well, yeah, that makes sense, just one at a time. And we're going to get into some of these, and I can speak from experience because some of you have heard the story before, but I lost my entire inheritance because my dad trusted my brother, and my brother trusted a man, it was his mentor. They went to the same church, and it was promising easy, fast money. Turned out to be a Ponzi scheme. My dad lost everything. And my entire inheritance disappeared. It didn't happen because my dad was dumb. It happened because he hoped that the opportunity was real, and he trusted my brother. So, that's the way that these things happen. DIR, for those of you that were in that, it wasn't anything special. That happens over and over again. They just take the same playbook, rename it, and churn it over and over again. It wasn't anything new. It uses the same thing: hope, urgency, fake success, community pressure, screenshots. Just try it with a little money. I mean, they start with $200, $200 to get to the next level so you can start making real money, And considering, the screenshots that they show you, what's $200? I mean, I remember when I first, came out with my video saying that it was a Ponzi scheme, everybody was yelling at me like, you got to spend money to make money. And, telling me that I was crazy. And I'm like, come on. It's a Ponzi scheme. I am not going to, this is one of the cues. If you have to pay money to somebody else to get the money that you earned, it's a scam. I'm going to tell you right there. Okay. Because that is not the way that it works in business. In business, yeah, you have to spend money to make money, but you spend money on different things. I'll give you a classic example. Okay. A good friend of mine, at 19, he was offered a dealership, Honda America dealership, because he was racing for Honda. So back then it was just motorcycles, right? So they said, hey, you can have a free dealership because you're racing for us, but you have to spend money to have the dealership. So he had to spend money to lease a building. He had to spend money to have signs. He had to spend money to advertise. He had to spend money to get to actually, well, you finance to get the inventory, to start with. But so he had to lay out some money, even though the actual dealership was free. In order to access that, sure, he had to spend some money. So logically, that's how they get you to believe that you have to spend money to make money. But that's not the same way it works in business. Now, for him, he was 19. He did that. He ended up, all told, he was in with loans and everything up to about 10 grand. But within 2 years, he was a millionaire. That's the way it really works in business. So it's a little bit different in the real world than it is, flipping videos on a phone. So does it work? Yeah, it works. And that's the kind of business that I try to teach people. But whenever, like I said earlier, when I try to get to those steps, they run away because they don't want to actually do real work. They want easy stuff. They just want to throw in $200 and anyway. So we're going to get into some of these red flags. Number one, no verified face-to-face. And I hope you guys are taking notes. Okay. If you can't get a verified face-to-face, they don't exist. It's not real. I had just recently, with my marketing firm, I had somebody reach out to me through contact form from San Diego. I'm here in Florida, wanting a quote on a website. And, we emailed back and forth a couple of times. And, sure, I'll send a couple of emails, but I'm not going to go very far. And I said, basically sent the email that we need to do a virtual call before I'm going to go very far with them. I'm not going to invest very much time without a face-to-face. And sure enough, we did our face-to-face yesterday. We spent an hour on a virtual call. And yeah, so that's the way it works in real business. A scammer, you guys know, they're not going to do that. They're going to avoid FaceTime like vampires avoid sunlight, because if you see them, you can identify them when things go south. Just not going to happen. And just like the Ponzi scheme that my dad was involved in, he knew my brother, he knew the guy above him, but the guy above him that left the country with all the money, my dad never met him, didn't actually know his name, nothing to be able to actually trace him. The guy above my brother, yeah, that guy did jail time. The other thing is the way they use WhatsApp. They go there because everything is secure and you can't trace them. And here's the funny thing, okay? I got added today. I got added to this huge group. I'm like, what is this? This is going to be another scam, right? And they send the video out and they start talking on it today. I'm not even going to waste my time watching the video. So I thought, this is probably a scam. So I sent them the video about today's live about how to spot a scam. I'm like, I wonder how they're going to respond. Maybe some of them will come to the live, right? They deleted that almost immediately. Ding, 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 ding. Red flag. Yeah. Here's the thing. The only people, and not to say that there aren't business people that use WhatsApp, because there are. I've got a client that I'm working with, a couple clients that use WhatsApp because they're Jamaicans. Because, they travel back and forth. A lot of their clients are in Jamaica, and they use WhatsApp, because when they travel back and forth, they can still use WhatsApp. Okay. If they're located in the United States, there is absolutely no reason for them to use WhatsApp. There's not, because you can still do groups. There's so many other ways to do group messaging without WhatsApp. So if they're using WhatsApp to do business, yeah, it's a scam. I'm sorry, it's a scam. I've just never seen any North American business use WhatsApp for business, and I've been in business a long time. The other screenshots instead of real systems. You know, a real business will send you a PDF. They'll send you a link to a website. They don't do screenshots. They don't do fake deposits. They just don't. And the other thing is, like, when DIR was offering me a job as a manager, I said, so where's the contract? Oh, we don't do contracts. Well, then you're not going to employ me, because I'm not going to work somewhere without a contract. Well, we just don't do that. Fine. You're not going to hire me. I'm not going to work somewhere without a contract, because I need to know what the terms and conditions are. Who works anywhere these days without a contract? No contract, no paper trail, no nothing. I mean, if you're doing a side hustle where you might make a few $100s, maybe $1,000, sure. But who invests more than a few $100s without a contract? I mean, you don't even buy a car for $1,000 without a contract, So why would you invest money without a contract? So that's a dead given. Crypto, oh my word. There is a reason why they go into crypto. Okay. Most crypto is nowhere near as secure as people think it is to begin with. Some crypto, like Bitcoin specifically, is fairly secure, but most crypto can be hacked so easily that you can have a wallet full of crypto, and if somebody's got that wallet address, they can drain it in minutes. And people don't realize that. And you're here doing business or supposed business with somebody, and sharing these wallet addresses and stuff with Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, but crypto. And so that's one reason why to do that. The other reason is that when, in the banking world, when you transfer money, if you can go to your bank and prove that you were manipulated, it was fraudulent, your bank, your credit card, they'll reverse those charges and they're going to lose that money. But once it goes into crypto, you're on your own. And they know that. So they know that they're safe once it's in crypto world. So it's just untraceable. It's gone. And, there's nothing you can do. And this is one of the problems why, like this Chinese woman that in Europe that they finally traced down and arrested, why it took them so long, billions of dollars. And I don't know, from what I understand, she might even be connected to DIR. I don't know. And because I think this DIR servers might have been under her from what I read. But they can't do anything on the crypto until they've located the person, built the case, located frozen all the accounts. I mean, it's just such a long process. So last thing you want to do is give anybody crypto. Just not something you want to do. Think of it this way. Jim Rohn said, decades ago, you are the average of your 5 closest friends. Look at the people that you want to be like. Okay. Personally, I look at people like Warren Buffett. Okay. And when guys like Warren Buffett won't touch crypto, that says something. I've dabbled in it, but the thing about crypto is it is so unpredictable. It just, yeah. If Warren Buffett won't touch crypto, that should say something. Enough about crypto. So, I'm going to touch on the 5 biggest scams going on right now. Number 1 is AI trading bots. They'll show, fake dashboards, fake profits, real losses, but there's no live withdrawals. It's a scam. It's fake. When they show you these AI trading bots, listen, I've done the research on them. Okay, there's nothing real there. There's nothing there. It's just they just want you to sign it. They just want you to buy the stuff. Okay, there's nothing. Again, crypto is unpredictable. You can't predict what it's going to do. Not you, not an AI bot. You can't predict it. So there's nothing to sell other than a fake subscription. The next one is WhatsApp investment advisors. You'll see these things that come across, Facebook and stuff where, big names, Mr. Incredible and stuff, that, you sign up and they're going to advise you on trading and stuff. No, they don't call you. They hunt you. It's just, in those actually, some of those where they're getting into trading, they're actually, some of them that I've seen actually get into an illegal trading activity, but that's a whole nother thing. Okay. And it's a good way for you to lose your money in the process. Number 3 is crypto wallet upgrade, the verification scam. And some of you guys have seen some of this where it's, update your wallet equals let me steal everything. They want you to pay money to update your wallet, and they're just, because when, you give them access to your wallet and they're just going to take everything. And oftentimes they're not just after what the money that you have in your wallet, but your identity. So number 4 is no contract business partnerships. And why would you do a business partnership without a contract? It begins with trust, ends in bankruptcy. Because if you don't have a contract, like I said earlier, if you don't have a contract, you don't have anything. Never do anything without a contract. Guys, if you're going to do anything with business, I mean, I've started over 100 successful businesses. This is my bread and butter. I mean, this is what I do. Number 5, the last one is the screenshot scam. Fake payouts designed to create excitement and get you to try it once. Yeah, they're just trying to bait you to get you once, and kind of how DIR starts. They just want you to get you started. So the 3 rules that end 90% of the scams. Rule number 1: no face. Don't give them any money. If they can't prove who they are, just end it. Number 2: if there's no contract, no deal. Because if they avoid paperwork, they plan to run. Number 3: if there's no proof, no payment. If they can't verify the results in real time, it's fake. They're showing you screenshots. Let them show you live action. If they can't show you live action, then it's not real. Okay. Number 3: no proof, no payment. If they can't verify, I said that one. Those 3 rules alone would have saved my father's money, your money, the victims' money, millions of others. So, any questions? Wow, did I really cover everything? And for those of you that have been hit by a scam, I don't want you to think, again, that, you did anything wrong, because this is their job. It's their job to play on your emotions, your feelings, and, I can't say it enough. I've said it several times, watch Matchstick Men. It's a great movie, very entertaining. And it really explains how these guys work in a very, very good manner. So. They give you a set of 15 or so tasks, process, then you have to top off in order to keep processing. Exactly. They start with little things, they don't come at you and say, hey, give us $20,000, it's little things. That's what, DIR starts with this little thing that you do this, you make $5 a day, it's easy. And then they come, hey, when you've earned $200, you have to give us $200 to get it back, and like, well, gee, I've already earned $200, so they're just going to hold my money, and yeah. They make it sound good. They've been doing this. They do this all the time. Tried to get you to pay 15 grand, told them where to go and how to get there. I love it. Yeah. It's, the thing that gets me is that so many people, they need money, they're hurting. And so they'll try anything, I had a recruiter that's been after me for a couple of weeks, and he, I've had headhunters after me for decades, when I was a restaurant manager, these headhunters, every month they'd come after me with a new offer. But back then it was always, they'd have an offer, hey, this restaurant, they'd have the name of the restaurant. This restaurant in this city has this offer for this much money. And they'd have the details, of who's going to pay the fees and who's going to pay for, relocating or what. And, all the details were there in the offer. Right. So this recruiter comes at me, and, It's really vague. So I'm like, so we went back and forth a few times, trying to get at what it was. It's like a sales kind of thing. And I mean, I'm always up for whatever, especially after I sold one of my businesses a couple years ago. Because one of the things was remote, and so it came to the point. He's like, okay, well, send me a resume over. So, because I'd asked, what's it for, so he finally sent me kind of a description of a job, still no company, still no actual title. So, okay, I did a resume for him, sent it over, and he comes back and in a roundabout way said, basically saying that he needed to refer me, wanted to refer me to resume services, to write, resumes. And I'm like, I mean, just like, really? I'm a published author. You want me to pay somebody to write my resume? And so I'm like, why would I pay somebody to write my resume? Oh, well, no, for these positions, you need to have a letter of intent and a bio. And it's like, well, I can certainly write a bio considering I'm a published author, but how would I write a letter of intent when you haven't told me what job I would be writing an intent for, or not job, but what position, And, he comes back with another thing, and finally I kind of let him have it. I'm like, listen, because, he's like, I only get paid if I, place you in a position, I'm not here to, refer resume services, And I'm like, dude, let's take a step back, because if you really wanted to place me somewhere, you'd take a minute and go to my website and do a little research on who I am. And you'd find that, well, sure, I've done some sales and I've won numerous national awards. You'll find that most of my experience is executive level, and you and I would both make more money if you placed me in that kind of a position. So find me something there and we'll both be happier. Find that kind of a position. Let me know what documentation you want there, and I'll be more than happy to write it. Yeah, I doubt if I'll hear from him, because at the end of the day, he's just trying to sell resume services. He's not a real headhunter. If he was, he would have come in the first place with a job offer. And it's no different, in my opinion. It's just a scam. Because if he really had something to offer, he would have offered it in the first place. So it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's just no different than a scam. But not really trying to steal money, just stealing my time. But it's the same way that a scam works. Oh, Parker Outdoors, how about that? Thanks for the likes. You will invest a little time and you go a little step further because you're interested in the possibility of what they might have. And that's the way a scam works. Because you go a little bit further and a little bit further and step in, and well, maybe, and maybe, and maybe. And yeah, that's how they go. So anyway, well, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to follow and again, every Tuesday, every Thursday, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll be back. On Tuesdays, we talk about how to make money. Thursdays, we talk about the issues that come up for making money. And if you have particular topics along those lines that you'd like to address, let me know, because my passion is for creating wealth. So here I am, and happy to help. So thanks for joining in, and I'll see you Tuesday, if not before. Oh, and of course, if you don't know, I do a news report every morning on YouTube and TikTok. So join in. Thanks, guys.